family visited the Chelsea Flower Show in one of their earliest engagements after the return from South Africa, and we can be sure it was an engagement of pleasure rather than a royal duty, for the Chelsea Flower Show is definitely not to be missed. Queen Mary was also an early visitor. She toured the exhibits in the gardens of the Royal Hospital and showed evident admiration for all that she saw. Successful efforts indeed had been made this year to attain pre-war standards. The Queen Mother's birthday on May the 26th is her 80th, and respectfully we wish her many happy returns of the day. Memories of the older ones among us go back to times when King George V and his consort were Prince and Princess of Wales. Those were times of different manners and different fashions. Very remote they seem now, and to many indeed they now live in the memory as a golden age. This golden age lasted a few years after the coronation of King George and Queen Mary. Then the First World War cut it short. In a sense, however, it lasted until the Jubilee, that great day of rejoicing in May 1935, when the Empire celebrated 25 years of a glorious reign and royal service to the people. Through all those years, the royal figure of Queen Mary was an example of dignity and kindliness beloved of the British public, devoted to her family, her friends, and her country. Recently, the public has seen all too little of her, though she was, of course, present at the Victory Parade last year. This year, she opened the Ideal Home exhibition and walked round Olympia, showing all her well-known interest in houses and gardens. And as ever, in people. Not long ago, she visited the Battersea Power Station with her granddaughter. Here is a picture of unaffected charm, the Queen Mother and the heir presumptive, 21 and 80, the bearer of our hopes and wishes for the future, and the living symbol of that older generation for whom we feel an enduring and affectionate esteem.
Whitsun comes but once a year, and this party of merrymakers bound for Southend are all set to express the holiday spirit in a big way. Yes, it's all the fun of the upper deck aboard the good ship Royal Eagle, and the food's just grand, even if you've got to pull strings to get it. The end of the outward trip, and another happy invasion force begins a well-earned break by the sea. Over now to Margate, where similar scenes were the order of the day at this ever-popular part of the holiday coast. Margate was also the setting for more serious activities centering around the Labour Party conference. A heavy program lay before this 46th annual meeting of the party, but Mr. Herbert Morrison took things with a smile, as did Mr. Dawson. The President of the Board of Trade, Sir Stafford Cripps, and the Prime Minister shared the holiday mood amid their many duties. Down at the seafront, a better deal for British films was being urged in a very timely manner. Now our cameras take a trip to Harwich, where white sails and blue water proclaim the start of the celebrated yacht race to the Hook of Holland. Away they go at the beginning of a 200-mile voyage, a classic picture of unchanging grace and a joy to the hearts of those who follow the sea. Barking Lake is the scene of another nautical event as the Mayor goes aboard the new pleasure boat Phoenix, a stern wheeler cleverly adapted from an assault craft used in past campaigns. It's a big thrill for the young passengers as the Phoenix begins her peacetime career, making Barking Lake look like the old Mississippi. Those of you who spent a Whitsun holiday in London and still miss the sight of Eros will be glad of this up-to-date report. Repairs and cleaning operations are in full swing, and the famous aluminium figure will soon return to his rightful place at the hub of the universe. Whit Monday just wouldn't be Whit Monday for some people without a visit to Appy Hampstead, and those who went this year certainly weren't disappointed. Everything was much the same as ever, and the crowds couldn't have had more fun if they'd been these bright boys with their own pet version of playing the horses. "60,000 spectators came to the White City for a gathering of international champions in the British Games. High spot of the running event was the 6-mile handicap, and all eyes were on the great Finnish runner, Viljo Heino, number 1, who kept up a magnificent pace to beat the British track record by 14 seconds. Now the 100-yard athletic club match with MacDonald Bailey, number 21, helping himself and his club to a thrilling victory against tough opposition. And here's how Dio Finlay won the 120-yard hurdle. Youth puts on the gloves at the Empire Pool, Wembley, where boys' clubs from every part of the country were represented in the final buck. This one was to end in victory for D. Lloyd of Colwyn Bay ATC. Now the 9-stone 7s and some real hard pounding. M. Innocent, the young coloured boxer from Cardiff, could give plenty of punishment as well as take it, but honours went to his opponent, J. Lucy of London. Again, the accents on youth at the Empire Day March Past of Sea Cadets in Hyde Park. Admiral Sir John Cunningham, the first Sea Lord, took the salute on this day of fellowship between the countries of the British Commonwealth of Nations.